Hello and welcome back to East Coast DNA for another one of our on-the-road bonus episodes. Today we're recording at the Seahorse Tavern in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we have special guest Persephone. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Oh.
So I think we should probably start off with introduction. So Ezra.
I'm Ezra. I'm the drummer of Persephone.
Yes, and now you're the one that I knew first.
Yeah.
You at most bands that I interview, I usually end up finding the key person in the band that usually ends up being the spokesperson or their social media person. It seems like you guys are kind of split.
Yeah, I would say we all do a lot of the work and stuff on that.
I would say I do the least.
You do the least?
In terms of speaking in social media. But I'm okay with it. It's not my front.
And so, do you want to give a nice look at the camera and introduce yourself to people who haven't heard you?
Yeah, I'm Tom. I'm the guitar player of Persephone.
And so, you're social media adverse out of the group?
Yeah, I think that I'm just not into that aspect of being in a band, as important as it is. And these guys are better at it than I am, so I leave it up to them.
And I do know of you guys. I mentioned Kassandra to you before we start recording that I knew of you guys from social media primarily. I think, Ezra, there might be some connection out to, I think we know some of the same people. A few different people that I definitely know who you are anyway.
Yeah.
Do you have relations in the industry, like family?
Yeah, I toured actually recently with like the band that's been on Virgin Radio, Kin Crew.
Okay, yeah.
Times. We just did a little East Coast tour. Like I filled in for Matt Muse, who was supposed to drum. He drums with like Rhea May right now.
Yes.
So I definitely have like tried to expand my connections in the industry like crazy, more or less for the benefit of this band.
Yes.
A lot of the time.
Well, you seem, in my limited experience behind the scenes, you seem to be the social butterfly of the group. When I was getting around at Music Week in Sydney, I saw you getting around a little bit. So
I feel like I'm better at networking than I am actually like doing things like this.
Than performing.
Yeah, like perform. Yeah. Yeah.
I caught the sound check. You guys, you're on par with your performance as well.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, the networking just sort of like I just like meeting people.
Yeah.
That's really it. Yeah. But also these guys do a lot of that too, and I'm gonna pass the mic to them.
So we have Kassandra.
Honestly, I mean, I'm social, but I wouldn't say I'm the social butterfly of the group. I think Nick and Ezra definitely take the lead on when we're out and about, like whether even like the music festival, Nova Scotia Music Week. Like these two, we're always chatting about, and like usually at the shows, they'll float around the crowd. Yeah.
These guys are antisocial.
I'm not antisocial. I'm just nervous. I'm a nervous person. I'm better on social media for sure.
Well, and at the end of this, we will include some music, so anyone that hasn't heard Persephone can. But
yeah.
now, just from the outside as well, because I do a little bit of people watching when I'm at these events too, especially for networking purposes, right? But you do seem a little quieter when you're out there socializing.
Yeah.
But then it's amazing when you're on stage. I'm a little biased because I like female vocalists anyway. Like one of my favorite bands, I'm aging myself. When I was in high school, Jail was a big band in Halifax.
Okay, yeah.
So that was an all-female band. I was a big fan. Plum Tree, I was a fan of at the time, but I mean, they were around for a short period of time in that
I don't
era.
think I've heard of them.
So I've always gravitated towards that. So having a podcast covering East Coast music, when I start seeing Halifax bands with female vocalists, I'm like, oh, what do they sound like? And definitely you would fall in with that. But a unique thing with you that's a little bit of a twist, you got like a real powerful growl in some of your songs. And it's awesome. It blends in really well, but yet it always kind of surprises me when it comes out in a song and you guys just all get right into it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the one thing about our music. It's very diverse. We like to keep the whole circle going the whole time round. Yeah.
It's almost like, oh yeah, I'm Nick, by the way, bass player of Persephone. I find that we really don't like to play the same section twice.
No.
Yeah.
At all. And it's annoying when writing, but it's really fun when playing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like it's a good time.
So now, as far as writing then, how do you guys create your song? Now, I only know of two. I've seen you a couple times live now, but I only know of two songs that have been released.
Mm-hmm.
So when you guys are writing, I guess we'd lean more towards those specific songs. But do you guys write, like, was one person write it, or do you write as a group? Yeah.
I would say that Pools. Okay, you're talking about Pools and Angela,
Yeah.
Ocean Floor, but like, Pools and Angela had extremely like. It's weird that you'd mention those ones specifically because they had extremely different processes.
Yeah, well, the first one was Angela, and that was like recorded live on the Ocean Floor.
We did. That was like a song that like was one of our first songs written in the group, the big group of songs. But then Pools was sort of in this like second group, like weird little second group where we kind of ripped it from an old band that me and Tom were in.
Okay, cool.
And oh, sorry. Yeah, it was from an old band that the three of us were in with another bass player who you might know from who formerly played in Alfie.
Okay.
Alfie in Love. Now FKA Alfie. for those of you who know the scene with that, but at least that's his Instagram handle. Yeah, that's his Instagram handle. And then anyways, so the writing process usually ends up being myself and Tom on sort of like the rhythmic harmonic aspects of things, and then myself and Nick on sort of like the more niche rhythmic aspects of things, and then Kassandra comes in with all the vocal melodies, lyrics, inflections, like all the different ad-lib type things you would hear on the record and that you will hear on the record came from her, and
Cool.
it's gonna be an awesome record.
Awesome. And so let's talk about this.
You're like, wait, what
This
was
this is what I've been waiting for to
All right.
interview you for like over a year.
that? Yeah.
And so I was fortunate to be in the same place at the same time tonight. So I know it's a little premature, but what can you tell me about the fact that there's more than 2 songs recorded?
We have 12 songs on this current record, and they're recorded twice over.
Awesome.
So it's like we've been trying to do this for a while. We recorded it last year in February on our own. Like we did an excursion out to Bridgetown and just like tracked all the songs ourselves with a bunch of equipment we got from Long McQuaid, and it was really fun, and it made like a very cool roomy sound, but we weren't entirely like happy with it.
Yeah.
And so we were like, this could be a lot better. So we decided, like, when it was done, that we were going to re-record the whole thing.
Did you re-record it yourselves, or did you bring someone in to help you?
We got AJ Boutelier
Oh, okay,
from
yeah.
Fluttered and Book Buddies and probably like
There's-
10 projects.
Yeah, Out of Controller's one I've been
name
waiting
every
for new
single
stuff
thing
too.
he's ever done, but it would look like an IMDb page. But no, yeah, he's producing it. He
Awesome.
recorded it for us. He's awesome. Producing it
Yeah,
at the moment.
yeah. Everything I've heard with his name attached has been good
Extremely patient.
He's really nice to work with. He's really nice to work with because he has so much patience for our shenanigans.
so far. Yes, and I
Yeah.
think he's probably been involved with enough musicians in this area that he's probably got a little bit of a flavor for every personality type now too. So
I think he knows just to sort of like when we're not ready, voice crack. When we're not ready to like tell him about anything, he just sort of like takes a step back and just lets us think about it and
Yeah.
whatever. And then when we get back to him is whenever we get back to him, kind of thing. And it's just like,
awesome.
yeah.
So did he also do Pools with you?
Yeah,
Okay, so that's the first single from the album.
Yeah. So for the Ocean Floor one, he did our engineering at the studio.
Okay, cool.
And then for Pools, he just mixed it and like we did a bunch of revisions on it and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
I've got something to say about that actually. We tracked all the drums and the bass at AJ's house. Oh, and the vocals too, for the new record. But as opposed to, where was it? Bridgetown, where we kind of did that all ourselves.
Mhm.
And it's definitely more professional sounding, like doing it, and his expertise, his knowledge of like the whole process, because we went into it kind of blindly, like we'll figure it out. And it's a very it's close to our hearts, the Bridgetown version of the record. I'm sure we'll release it eventually as like demos maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about the state of the record.
B-sides on Bandcamp when you release singles. Release the single and then put like your earlier versions of the songs as bonus tracks.
Yeah.
That gets the dollars out of my pocket when you like, bonus track. I'm like, oh, okay.
$10.
But actually, we were just talking about this the other day, but we might actually include some of the B sides of Bridgetown on the actual record.
Yeah.
Because we like some versions of the older one better than we do the new one.
Cool.
So we kind of like, it's only 2 of them, but we swapped out some of them.
And will you be going with a physical release as well, or your
I think
modern
so.
digital bands seem to be the thing? But
Yeah.
I like to have physical media on hand.
We haven't given it much thought, but I think like ideally, if we could have a record, and a physical record one day, that would be, yeah,
It would be hype.
it would be
I
hype.
get to hold this piece of work in my hands.
I know I've been hearing that if you order vinyl from Romania, you can get it within 2 months
Oh, there you
rather
go.
than within 4 years.
Yeah.
So
there is
if
huge delay, so that is quick. Yeah.
So like if it can happen, I'm gonna order 10, and they're just 4 of them is gonna be for us, and then maybe some supporters will get one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're playing tonight. That's why I'm here. What do you have coming up for shows? If you have an album coming out, you got to be starting to build up your fan base a
Yeah.
little.
So I guess our next show, would that be April 16th? Is it?
No,
Do
our
we-
next show is the 31st.
Oh, we have a show on the 31st of March, and then we have 2 shows in April, one on the 16th, one on the 20th. I'm really looking out for that 20th show. It's gonna be
Is that
a
Rev's one?
it's a Gus's, but it's going to be, there's a little surprise.
Okay.
So are these all the Halifax regional
all
municipality
Halifax.
shows?
We are planning to maybe explore a little bit outside of Halifax. Keep posted for June.
Yeah,
something.
you'll have to let me know. Slide me a little message or something on the side so I can promote it for you through the podcast and our socials as well.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited to see you guys again tonight. Last time I saw you, it was a little crowded. So I mean, I did capture some footage that I put up on the YouTube there, but that was pretty much everything I saw because the rest of it was the backs of people's heads. The rest of the night, it was a nice night. It was it Woodside Tavern?
Woodside.
Yeah.
Woodside Beverage Room, baby.
Yeah, it was a cool venue.
Actually,
it
I
got
stumbled
packed.
across that video that
Yes.
did you record it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I'm at school for computer science right now.
Oh yeah.
And I made a website, like a personal website.
Yeah.
It's not up on the internet yet, but I linked that as a video in my website.
Oh, that's fine.
By the way, sorry.
Yeah, we should have an offside chat off the podcast sometime because I work in IT for the last couple
awesome.
decades, so yeah, we might have more in common than you
Yeah,
realize.
maybe we can make some connections.
Yeah, that's fun. So speaking of that, what do you guys? I'm assuming that if your album isn't even out yet, that you're not full-time musicians.
No.
So
No.
do you guys have any interesting day jobs that tie into with what you do?
I'm a flight attendant, and that's day and night, and I'm also working at a bar as a bartender and a server. And then there's all this.
That must be hard for you to schedule in dates.
It's a lot, yeah.
The
It's kind of
recording's one
swinging it.
thing, but playing live would be hard.
Playing the shows is actually a lot of planning because, with a flight attendant, you get your schedule for the full month, but you have no way of booking time off. So
Yeah.
if you're not here for a show that you booked the month before, you're just not here for the show.
Yeah, that
which
would
is
be
a little
that'd be
conflicting,
unfortunate.
but we have fingers crossed.
Yeah, I was gonna say from the little bit that I know, I follow even the shows I'm not at. I try to keep on top of what's happening out there for the most part, and especially for indie bands from Nova Scotia because it's easier where I'm from here. But I don't think I've ever seen anything where you guys didn't end up performing.
No.
And you have been ramping up a little bit the last
Yeah.
6 months or
We've
so.
kind of started to pull the wheels, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we want to make sure everyone's ready.
We did take a break for a while too. We needed to take a little winter break.
Yeah,
We needed it. We needed it. We're probably gonna take another this year.
Well, no, our winter
We're
break
taking
this
an
year
August
is in
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I work at the library as a barista.
Oh,
I make coffees for the books
oh, that's
and the
interesting.
people who read them. That's what I do. I used to be a cheesemonger, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I actually work for Sobeys
Oh yeah.
and like at the head office, but we had cheese ambassadors in our stores for a while.
yeah,
So is it
cheese
something similar to that?
ambassadors.
Then?
They've actually at Sobeys now they have pretty much all the different cheeses I had at my last
Yeah.
job, and like none of the like specialty, like all the
I don't
specialty
eat any of
cheeses
that.
that we used to have, all the main grocery stores have now. So
Yep.
it's like doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, no, they definitely they saw the opportunity and went,
Yeah,
and
they
all the
stole
grocery
this
stores crowded.
cheesy
They're like,
opportunity.
people like cheese. Did you know this? That's interesting. So, what's the biggest thing you guys are looking forward to this year besides the album itself? Are you just really focused on getting the album out and growing your fan base, or?
I want to play in a new city.
Oh, there you
the
go.
thing.
That's
And
what I like to hear.
we have one show booked in Montreal now.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
we're going to take the most advantage of being in Montreal as we can.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even know what we're going to do when we get there.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna speak so much French.
yeah.
but I have romanticized the indie music scene in Montreal since I've been there with Kin Crew.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so it's just like we got to go there, and I think it's really important for us to show our faces there at least once. Yeah.
After the album's out and you guys have played some shows
Yeah.
outside of Nova Scotia, you'll have to come back on and share some of the experiences and
Oh, we definitely
talk about
will.
some of the new songs. So for tonight, you guys are performing actually not too far. It's getting really close. We're going to get drowned out by sound before too long, I'm sure. So as we end this interview, for anyone that's watching it along on YouTube, I'm going to try to capture some of your performance tonight and throw it in there. So the song is a surprise for everyone. I'll put it in the show notes rather than announce it here. I do want to thank you guys for giving me your time. I've really been, as a fan, interested to find out a little bit more about you, and I'm glad to get in there before the full album's out and things are crazy busy. The limited amount of information is good because I know who you are at the ground level, so now I can just build that going forward. So it's great opportunity. I'm excited to be catching all these new bands coming out too. So you guys were, well, you know yourself, Ezra, because I was talking to you a few times, and any of you guys that were watching your social media, I've recorded you guys a couple times. I've shared a few things, so I'm a fan as well. So I do want to say thank you for that, and thanks for all the great
Of course,
tunes.
yeah. Thank you for having us.
I'm really looking forward to tonight's performance, and hopefully everyone stays tuned here and enjoys it as well.
Yeah.
All right, thanks again.
Peace.
You.